In this video, I'll show you 4 ways to create workflow diagrams in Excel, from starting with basic shapes all the way to professional diagrams using free add-ins. Let's get into it. And thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. The first and most basic method is just using SmartArt. For this, you want to head over to Insert and just go over to SmartArt. Within this pop-up, you'll notice we have the process area, so that's most similar to an actual workflow. Let's suppose we click on this very first one to see what that looks like. And we can easily add different sections here, like let's say this is the customer order first, and from here we have the inventory check, and so on and so forth. We can also add new ones within it just by pressing that plus sign or go up and down to move it around like this. The main problem with this method is that it's not very flexible. While I can change the shape type, so I can click on this rectangle, head over to format and change shape into something like an oval one like this. You'll notice that this does adjust, but I can't easily do things like add different sections above or below. For instance, maybe here I want to add a yes option and a no option. I can't do that inside of a SmartArt. That's why for slightly more complex stuff, I recommend just using shapes in Excel. So typically these start and end point are going to be oval shapes. So let's go ahead and add some of those. Under shapes here, we're going to choose something like this rectangle that's a bit more oval. Or if you actually scroll lower down, you'll notice we have all of the different flowchart options. So I can go for this specific one. And let's suppose that the first thing we get is a customer order. Let me type that in here. And I'm also going to format this a bit better by aligning it to the center. So under the home area, I'm just going to align that to the middle. I'm also going to change the background color, maybe make this a bit bigger too. And let me get rid of that outline as well. Hopefully that starts to look a bit better. I can even add a bit of a shadow in the back like this. Awesome. So that's the start. And from here, we're going to have a step 2 that's kind of a decider. So for that, you typically use a triangle. So what we're going to do is edit this shape. Under change shape, we're going to go for, under the flowchart, this diamond. So not quite a triangle, but a diamond instead. And this is where, depending on the inventory, so I'm going to put product available. And let me stretch that out so we can see it a bit better. Depending on whether that's available, we want it to say yes or say no. In between these, we're going to add some kind of an arrow. So I can head over to Insert under Shapes, and we're going to choose this particular line. So you can find it down here as well. So it should go from this button right here all the way to this one right below. Awesome. Now let's change the outline here to a different color. Let's say I go for a blue like this one right here. And I can also change the weight of it to something like a 2.5. Awesome. And you notice here that this attaches, if you use it properly, it attaches to the shape. So that's nice and easy if we want to add some more steps or move things around a little bit. Next up, for the yes or no, we need to have some kind of a 90-degree angle. So for that, we're going to add a different shape first. So I'm going to duplicate this one by pressing Ctrl D. And this could be the yes side, and then the no side is on this side. So I'm just going to change this shape to a rectangle. That's typically the shape type for an action. So I'm going to go over to Shapes, Edit Shape, and here I'm just going to choose a rectangle. Again, the start and end point are these oval ones. A triangle is a decision, or a diamond is a decision. And finally, this rectangle is for an action. So in this case, if it's a yes, then the action should be to ship the product, and then Control Shift and drag that to the right. So you keep it aligned on the height and still make a duplicate. And then if the product's not available, then we should simply refund the customer. Now we need to add the different arrows for each side. So I'm going to go over to Insert, under Shapes. You'll notice here that we don't have an exact one that only has one turn. So what we'll do is simply use one of the ones with 2 turns like this. Now select that, and we'll go from here all the way to this point right here. And you'll notice as soon as I get close to it, it does make the switch that I'm looking for. So this is what we'll do here. And I'm just going to duplicate this and do the same thing over on this side. So let me select that, link it to this part, and same thing with the bottom side. I want to link it to this exact section. Now, if we want the same formatting as the one above, we can simply click on this one and go over to the Format Painter, which is this button. Click on that and click on this other part. Same thing again with this left-hand side. Awesome. But ideally, we wanted to say something like yes or no. And I also want to make this maybe a bit bigger like this. For the yes or no, I'm just going to add a text box. So going over to Insert, under Shapes here, we're going to choose a text box. So one side is the yes, and the other side will be the no. Control B to bolden that. Let's make it a bit bigger. And we'll also get rid of the outline and the fill color that doesn't look very pretty here. So as the shape fill, I'll go for no fill, and outline as well, I'll go for no outline. So that's the yes side, and then we've got the no side on the other side. So Control Shift and drag that to the right for the no. Before we go over some more advanced workflows, as this is quite a basic one, if you're building charts in Excel, an excellent way to save time is by using chart templates like the ones HubSpot is kindly providing us. By clicking the link in the description, you can access a large variety of Excel graph templates completely for free. The download includes an Excel file with instructions on how to use the templates, along with a range of chart types to visualize your data. You can easily modify these templates and the data updates automatically. These templates can either accommodate one column of data or multiple depending on your needs. I personally find these templates most useful when choosing which chart type fits my data best, as it's quite rare for a template to show all of the different chart types at once. So I recommend visiting the link in the description below to download these completely free chart templates from HubSpot to level up your Excel game, and thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Awesome, this is starting to take shape, and one of the nice things about having everything well connected is that if I were to add more rows like this, you'll notice that all of this data stays the same. Even if I delete them later, it all moves consistently. At the very end of the process, maybe we can have an order complete or order cancelled, so let me fast forward how I do that. That's looking more like it, and for some of these that are complete or cancelled, we can also change the shape color, so the fill here, instead of being a dark blue, maybe this one can be in green and this other one could be in red. Nice, this is now looking a lot more colorful. The main problem here is that it's not very clear which department or who is in charge of what. That's exactly why more complex workflow diagrams use what are known as swim lanes. Let me show you what I mean here. So what we're gonna do here is add a few different columns like this and merge and center. We'll also change the colors of it like that. And here, this first one maybe can be the customer side. And let me maybe make that a bit bigger like this. And then the next one is going to be for the support team. So let me copy and paste that a few times. So then this is maybe for support. The next one could be for the warehouse. And finally for the finance team at the very end. And each of these sections is going to have their parts of the workflow. So let me go ahead and also add some borders around this area. So what we're gonna press is this button right here and go for outside borders. To replicate that, we just need to select the relevant area and just click on the same button. Let me fast forward the rest. This is what it looks like right now. We're also gonna get rid of the grid lines by going to view and clicking on grid lines. And within each part, let's start to add the different shapes. So here we're gonna go under the workflows part again, and the starting one should be oval. So we'll go for one like this. And this, let's suppose that it's now a refund request from a customer. Let me fast forward how I format this. And now to duplicate it, Control Shift and drag that to the right. Let's suppose that the next step is to review this. So review whether this refund request is valid and should continue or not. And in between, we need to add some kind of an arrow. So let's go ahead and do that by going to Insert again. And as shapes, we'll use one like this. Now we can go from this point to this other point. And let's also change the background color maybe to a darker blue. And now this is starting to take shape. So these are all of the different swim lanes that we've got. And I think something like this makes it a lot more elegant and it's very clear who's supposed to do what. The next step is to choose whether someone is refund eligible or not. So let me fast forward how I create all of the workflow so you can see the end product. Awesome, here's what that would look like. And we go from refund request to reviewing whether that refund is valid or not. Then if that refund is not eligible, so we have that decision tree here, then it should just reject that refund. Alternatively, if it's a yes, it is eligible, then we need to send the label to the customer. The customer needs to ship it back. So you can see here we have that nice split with the swim lane. And then once the customer ships it back, the warehouse should receive it. So you can see this is now a whole different section. And finally, the refund should be issued by the finance team. So we now have a nice workflow that's super clear thanks to these swim lanes. The main downside with this method that we've seen so far is that it's pretty tedious to make. You need to make sure that things are well aligned and that the arrows aren't pointing slightly up like this or slightly to the right, as they make things look so much worse. And there's no very obvious way to make that perfect, so you really need to eyeball it, which is not ideal. That's why there's software that's specifically for creating workflow diagrams. Let me show you one of the main ones by heading over to add-ins. And here under more add-ins, we're going to want to look for one called Lucidchart. It's this very first one, and you just need to go ahead and install it. In my case, I already have it installed, so it simply says open. Once you sign in, it should look something like this. From here, we can click on new and go for create from template, and keep in mind I'm simply in the free version right now. Here you can see, for instance, it's recommending a flowchart, so let's go ahead and use that. You'll notice though that there are a ton of other options as well. So I'm just gonna press on use, and here you'll start to see the interface, and you'll notice this kind of feels like an image inside of Excel, so you can move this around, expand it as you need. Now you'll notice at the start is that oval shape that we mentioned earlier. From here, I can easily change the shape by going to this button and changing that. So here, let's suppose instead of a process, we want to change it to a diamond, so a decision. Click on that. Then I can press the arrows to add some options above, like a no option, as you can see right here, and change that to a specific action that would happen if that's the case. And I can also easily change all of these different colors as well. The nice part about this is that it's much faster to use, and I can also move things around, and you'll notice how the arrows change automatically depending on what I choose to do. At the very end, once you're done, you can still leave it here in Excel like this, or you can simply take a screenshot and add it to your next tab. And you might be wondering, what about the equivalent of Swimlanes? Could we do something like that here? I would say for that we can use something like a container. So let's just click on that, and you'll notice that we have different types of containers in this part, like some smaller ones, some smart containers, and really so much more. And keep in mind, this is just one template that we've used. There are other options too. Finally, if you want a similar option that's already part of Microsoft 365, we have what's known as Visio. So Microsoft Visio is what it's called, and let me show you what it does. Here I am in the interface, and from here, let's suppose that we want to create a flowchart based off of a template like we've done with the Lucidchart. This is what it would look like, and you'll notice it's quite similar to Lucidchart in terms of the hover effect and seeing the different shapes from here. And I can go over to the right as well. And the nice thing is that up top, the interface is exactly the same as Microsoft's, so you might be a bit more familiar with the different parts. The main downside with Visio though is that you can't add it as an add-in in Excel anymore. It's something that you used to be able to do, but I believe that's no longer an option. So instead, if you want to add this in Excel, what you will need to do is simply take a screenshot and paste it inside of your Excel file. Next up, to learn how to make a calendar from a list of events in Excel, you should watch this video over here, or you can take our Excel course over here. Hit a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.